upcoming movies based on comics, video games, cartoons, you name it. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? Welcome back to your opinion spot. And let's get started, shall we? Let's start off with comic books. And this is going out to all my fellow comic book geekheads out there. Upcoming movies based on comics. Man, I'm starting to see that Hollywood is starting to see that this genre of movies can rank in the dough, especially if done right. And upcoming movies based on comics, man, you know, let's face it, it's looking very good in the eyes of our favorite heroes. You know, 2010, you know, for example, Iron Man 2, you know, and who didn't like Iron Man 1? I mean, Mr. Robert Downey Jr. did a very great job as Tony Stark. The more I looked at it, I was like, you know what? Everything he did in that movie, I was like, that's Tony. That is Tony to a T. You know, the fact that part 2, you know, is going to have a bigger role for, you know, Nick Fury, especially the fact that, you know, Sam Jackson is signed a 9-picture deal for 9 more Marvel movies to play Nick Fury. And in my opinion, it's okay for him to be Nick Fury. You know, basically he's the ultimate Nick Fury for all those who read the Ultimate lineup of Marvel. But I was kind of shocked in a way, because I thought they would go with, you know, the original Nick Fury. And that's my opinion on basically the reason why artists shouldn't always, you know, put their vision of this character based on an actor. If you look at the Ultimates, in that Nick Fury looked just like Sam Jackson, so it was like basically, oh, well, they're gonna get Sam Jackson to play Nick Fury, and if they didn't, he probably would have been like, oh, y'all drew this character just like me, so why can't I be in it? You know, even now, even if you look at, if anybody's reading, who's reading Dark Avengers, Deodato Jr., one of my favorite artists, he draws Norman Osborn like Tommy Lee Jones. So, you know, it is like a leeway on basically on basing your character, drawing your characters based on actors. But Iron Man 2, like, Black Widow's gonna be in this one. It's gonna have a good cast, you know, in terms of future films. You know, even still dealing with Marvel, you know, we got Spider-Man 4, you know. Hopefully this will do justice to where 3 left off. You know, I hear talks of Kraven and the Lizard. And I have my own little spin on the plot for that. And I'll probably get into that a little later on in another installment. But other than that, you know, we got people like Captain America, which I'm looking forward to, you know, being that it's going to be a periodical piece, basically taking place during, you know, the big World War II. You know, you're going to see everything, and the fact that it's under Marvel Studios, so you know they're going to stay true to what the book was. It's not a joint project, and that's the problem I see with being a joint project in terms of Spider-Man and even the X-Men series, being that X-Men is under Columbia and Spider-Man is still, X-Men is under 20th Century and Spider-Man's under Columbia, so you know Hollywood throw their little piece involved into it, not having Marvel the whole leeway. And then you have Thor, the God of Thunder himself. And the best thing about that I'm seeing in these Marvel movies especially when they're all done by Marvel, but they're distributed by a different company, is that you see tidbits of the characters, whether it's in the Hulk, where you saw them talk about the super soldier serum, and they talked about, you saw Iron Man make a cameo in there, things like that. It really had its very good touches on it. And Thor is another character that does need to do justice, get some leeway. And I've always said that Marvel has always given a lot of its characters a chance at, on the big screen. That's the difference between them and DC in some way. DC always, look to always put Clark and Bruce in the big, big screen, giving them, basically for them to ride. But sometimes that's a bad thing, because there are also some great DC heroes as well, and I'm about to get into that too. But leaving off on Marvel, the last thing is supposedly the 2012, where we get the big Avengers movie, and so far we know Robert Downey is going to reprise his role as Iron Man in that. And I have faith in that movie because it's under Marvel Studios, and they could pull it off if they do it right. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, don't do the ultimate. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't really like the Ultimate lineup too much. I enjoyed the animated movies, but don't do that for the live action. You stay true to what the Avengers are. You get the founding 5 members of the Avengers. Yes, and that includes the Hulk. The Hulk was actually a founding member of the Avengers. And as far as I'm concerned, don't make him the bad guy in that, because that's getting old real fast. When the Avengers came together, they fought Loki. They came together to fight Loki. And if you can't do that, get a villain that needs this group of heroes to come together, and then go into DC, DC, let's face it, we've all seen DC, they particularly go with, like I said, Bruce and Clark, they stay with Superman and Batman. But we see them strayed out of there, with Constantine and V for Vendetta, and with V for Vendetta, like I said, and Watchmen and stuff like that. But in terms of staying true to their comic, 2010 also brings us, Jonah Hex. For those who are fans of Jonah Hex, that's another movie that's being made in 2010. And we also see, Green Lantern, which I'm definitely looking forward to. Finally, another fan favorite DC hero getting a movie. And I think they can do a very good job with the technology today. They can do a very good job with Green Lantern, and it's going to be the story of Hal Jordan. But you are going to see elements of that. Him not being the first, choice of the ring. For all those who know the story of Green Lantern, he wasn't the first, choice for the ring. But he was the closest. There were choices of Guy Gardner being the first, which you're going to touch on in the movie. Guy Gardner is going to be in the movie as a choice for the ring, as well as Clark Kent. You're going to see make a cameo in the movie. But like I said, this could be a very good, decent movie. you know, for another great DC hero, you know, which I love. And like I said, just showing that we're not just all about Bruce and Clark, you know what I'm saying? We can strive outside of that. And this should be a very good, you know, very good piece. But then, you know, but then in 2011, you know, I hear the talks of just, you know, going back to Bruce and Clark again, you know, not giving other people a chance, like Flash and Wonder Woman and other characters. I would love to see them, you know, in my opinion. But, you know, sometimes that hurts, and sometimes it's not always a good thing, you know. But, you know, maybe in some eyes, you know, they need to reboot Superman, you know.